Hey, what's up guys, this is Dushan, and in this video I'm gonna tell you how did I model this phone in Blender. This tutorial is divided into two parts. The first one is the modeling part and the second one is the shading part. Please note that in this video I didn't cover the animation part that I have done in my phone commercial video. Also, this video is not for the one who haven't seen the Blender and doesn't know the basics of Blender at all. On starting Blender, you will be seeing something like this. Here there will be a cube, a camera and a light. So first I will delete all this object. For that, select the cube and press A. Once you press A, all the objects will be selected and then simply press delete key. I will start by adding a plane. For adding a plane, you have to go into the add menu, click on the mesh and add a plane. For hotkey users, you can do same thing by pressing Shift A to pop up the add menu and go on the mesh and click on the plane. So in this way you can add a plane over here. Now the usual dimensions of the phone is around 160 to 80 millimeters. So I will give the same dimensions in centimeter so that our object looks bigger. So for giving the dimension, just simply press N, and once you press N, this type of menu pop-ups. Then go to the transform section and give the dimension. So in the dimension section, we have to specify the dimensions that we want. For X, I will specify the dimension as around 160 centimeter, and along y-axis the dimension will be 80 centimeter. So now I got the dimensions of the phone. There is also two types of mode, that is object mode and edit mode. Edit mode allows us to play with the vertices, edges and face. For entering the edit mode, you have to simply press tab. So once you press tab key, you will be seeing something like this. You will be able to select the vertices and edges. So this is not a beginner tutorial, as I told you before. So I will be covering that in a tutorial part which I will be uploading soon. So now we got a plane over here. So for round corners we have to use a bevel modifier. For now I will just hide this transform menu. For this you have to press N again and it will be hidden. And then for adding a bevel modifier, you have to go into the modifier sections over here, then add modifier and select the bevel modifier. Once you select the bevel modifier, you see you increase the amount but nothing is happening. This is because the edge mode is selected and we have to bevel the vertices. For that you have to select the vertices and you see something like this happen. First I will enter the edit mode and you increase the amount, specify the proper amount. Now you want a curve edge, right? For that you have to increase the number of segment. The more the number of segment, the proper the bevel you get. So specify the proper amount. For small changes you have to hold on the shift key. Now one thing you have to do is just apply the scale. For applying this scale, press Ctrl A and then click on the scale. So once you click on the scale, you see something has happened. So what happens is that when you apply the scale, the Blender orients the mesh scale to 1:1 so that it will have a proper dimensions and it will behave properly. Now it's time to give thickness to our phone. For giving the thickness, we have to add one more modifier. So same in the modifier section, you have to go to the add modifier and click on the solidify modifier. So once you click the solidify modifier, what it does, it adds thickness to it. So you can adjust the thickness from over here. Now as I told you before, hit shift and adjust the amount for very small and minute changes. So here I will give it thickness to be around this, and yeah, it looks fine. There is also the curve on the edge section of the phone. So for that we have to again add a bevel modifier. So again go to the modifier and add a bevel modifier. So once you add a bevel modifier, you see something has happened. The edge has become curved. We have to increase the number of segments to get it more curved. Increase this segment and adjust it properly. And fine, it looks fine. Now one thing you have to do is shade smooth. So once you shade smooth, it just smooth all the edges. Now go to the object data properties and here you have to go in the normal section and auto smooth. So the edges which will be having angle more than 90 degree would not be smoothed. This looks fine. Now it's time to apply the modifier. For applying the modifier, you have to go again into the modifier section and apply it in the sequence it is arranged. For that, click over here and apply. Click over here and click on apply. Click over here and click on apply. So in the same way, we have applied all the modifier. Now it's time to get into the edit mode, and once you get into the edit mode, you can see something like this. Now it's on vertices select mode. So here you can see there are three options over here. One is for vertex, one is for edge. Here it will allow you to select the edge, and one is for the face. You can switch between them by simply pressing 1 for vertex, 2 for the edge, and 3 for the face. So now I will just select the face and press I to insert a face inside this face. So insert will allow me to insert a face inside a particular face. So for the screen purpose, I have to insert a face side, and this is fine, this looks fine, and okay, I got a screen over here. Now for the notch of the screen, you have to enter the vertex mode. For the vertex mode, as I told you, you can go from over here or simply press 1 to enter the vertex mode. Now I will subdivide this vertices. So what does subdivide does? So subdivide just simply create more vertices over here. So click on the subdivide, again click on the subdivide, again click on the subdivide. So I got particular number of vertices. So I will just select these three vertices and G for grabbing it and moving it along x-axis like this, and scaling it somewhat, S for scaling it. I hope you might be aware of the basics. For yeah, and now I get the proper dimensions. Now I want curve over here, so for that again we have to use a bevel modifier, but now we will simply use the shortcut key. The shortcut key for the bevel modifier is Ctrl B. So you have to select the vertices you want to bevel, shift to select the multiple vertices, and then simply press Ctrl B to bevel. Then you can see nothing is happening, right? So left click, and once you left click, you see over here the bevel option will appear over here. So click over here. See, again edge is selected, so you can't do any changes to the vertices. So click on the vertex to do the changes and increase the number of segment, increase the width just by holding the shift key, give it a proper amount. Yeah, that's fine. And I have to bevel this also, so just select this two vertices, again Ctrl B, and you see nothing is happening. So just simply press left click and select the vertices, increase the amount by around 4, 2 or 4, I hope so. So we doesn't want more over here, we just simply want somewhat curve over here. So yeah, we got it, and now we got the screen. Okay, to give the thickness to the screen, I will extrude it by selecting the face and then simply press E. So once you press E, you will be able to extrude it and hold on the shift for small changes. Yeah, let's look fine. Okay, so you got the screen. Okay, now it's time to add buttons. So first I will start by modeling the buttons. For that, I will move the cursor to this point for the volumes button, and to move the cursor, hold on the shift key and right mouse click to the point to which you want to move it. Then here I will start by adding a circle, so shift A to pop up the add menu and then add a circle. Now the circle is horizontal, we have to make it vertical. For that I will rotate it along x-axis by 90 degree. So press R and then X to rotate it along x-axis and just type 90 on your numpad. So now it's become horizontal. Just scale it down, press tab to enter the edit mode, again scale it down to a proper dimension. I will select this semicircle and then just G for grabbing it, move it along x-axis. Just check is the length is fine. Yeah, the length looks fine. Now A to select all, F to create a face. Now the face has created, then E to extrude and extrude it along z-axis. Then just grab it, move it along, move it outwards somewhat. Just scale it along y-axis, somewhat like this. Now it looks fine. Now again for the pop-up button, do the same thing. Add a circle at this point. The circle is horizontal, so I will rotate it along x-axis by 90, make it vertical, scale it down, switch to y-axis mode, scale it down. Now it looks fine. Select all, A to select all, then F to create a face, and then E to extrude it. Again grab it, move it along y-axis like this. I'm not beveling the edge because at the end I will be using a Boolean modifier and then redesign the buttons. So now for here, again switch to x-axis mode. For the charging port, again do the same thing. Add a circle. The circle is horizontal, right? Rotate it along y-axis. Here the axis will be y. 90 degree. Scale it down. Zoom in. Then again scale it down. Tab for vertices mode. Select the semicircle like this. Grab it. Move it along y-axis. Select all, grab it, move it along y-axis, orient it on the middle. Yeah, now it looks fine. Now A for select all the vertices, F for creating the face over there, E to extrude, again tab. I will just move the cursor, shift right click, remember shift right click to move the cursor, and where the cursor will point, at that point the object will be added. So remember this point. Grab it, move it along the x-axis, just move it outwards. Okay, for the audio system, again I will be using circle, so rotate it along y-axis by 90 degrees, scale it down, just move the cursor so that it doesn't block our vision, and now tab for edit mode, press F. So once you press F, the face will be created over here, and then E to extrude the cylinder. Grab it, move it along x-axis like this. Yeah, now it's fine. I will just shade it smooth. So I shade it smooth because I want the inner whole edge to be smooth. For that purpose I just shade smooth it, and for making it proper, just go over here and go to the normals and click on this auto smooth checkbox. Now there are many speakers over here, so for that, for duplicating, I will be using array modifier. So go select the object first, then go to the modify section, add modifier and array. So what array does is it just multiplies the object at a particular axis. So here the axis is y-axis, so I will make the reading of x-axis to be 0 and y-axis I will increase it accordingly. So I will increase the count, just orient it properly, and I think this looks fine. Yeah, now I want this thing to be along this side also, so for that I will be using mirror modifier. What does mirror modifier do is it just mirror the object along any particular axis, and we have to specify the reference object also. So I will select this object just, and then go to the modify section and select the mirror modifier. Where is the mirror modifier? Here. So now we have to specify the object along which we want to mirror. So here this object will be the mirror, and also the axis. So the axis selected is x-axis, so it get mirrored over here, but we want over here. So for that we have to select y-axis, just disable the x-axis, and now we get the proper orientation. Again, for the headphone jack also we want the same cylinder over here. Again, okay, so first I will just apply this modifiers, then I will do the modeling part. So for applying, click over here and just apply, click over here and apply. So now I have successfully applied the modifier. Now comes here, go to the axis mode, and then again add a circle. The circle is horizontal, rotate it along which axis? Y axis, right, by 90. Scale it down, tab, press F to create face, and E to extrude it. Yeah, now just grab it outwards along x-axis. Just I will move it downwards, orient it properly, and I got a button, one headphone jack, and here volume system. Okay, so we got most of the buttons. Now it's time to see what is Boolean modifier. Now for bulling this, we have to select the main object to bull, and then select the reference object and just press Ctrl minus. So you see a bull has been created. Basically bull is a hole. So you see we have bulled it. Now I will just hide this outline object. So I will do the same for all the objects. Select the reference object and just press Ctrl minus. Again for this, select this, select this, select the reference, Ctrl minus, select this, select the reference, Ctrl minus, select this, select the reference and press Ctrl minus. Okay, we build everything. Now I will just hide this. For hiding, just select the object and press H. The object will be hidden, but the bull will remain the same. Press H. Again, hide this outlines, hide this, H, hide this, H. So now we have successfully created the bull. Now it's time to do something in edit mode. So here you can see, in whenever I am going to the edit mode, I am saying nothing, right? This is because I have not activated the bull modifier yet. So for activating the bull modifier, you have to go into the modify section, and here you can see automatically many of the bull modifier has been created. Just you have to click over here and click on apply, click over here, click on apply, and apply the same for all. Just apply them. So once you apply, and now hit the tab key, and now you can see the bull modifier in edit option also. Now it's time to create the button. So for that I will just enter the face select mode, select this face. Now for giving it a button like look, I will first insert a face inside it. So press I to insert, and insert a small face inside it like this, and then E to extrude it outwards like this. Okay, I have extruded a lot. Again G, move it along x-axis. Just give the proper dimensions, and same thing for this. Just press I, insert it like this. I have created a face, and now again E to extrude, and extrude to the same level as of this. Just grab it, move it along y-axis so that it comes to same. Now I will bevel them. You can scroll up the button so that more edges are created over there, and fine, it looks fine, right? So again same for this, Ctrl B for beveling, and scroll up, and now the buttons look fine. Okay, now it's time for making the charging port. So for charging port, again for the inside rectangle, I will just insert a face first inside, small face like this, and just E to extrude it like this, and I got the charging port also. And for there is nothing to do with the headphone jack and the speaker. So yeah, I now got the buttons also. Now it's time to model the camera. For this I will rotate this phone by 180 degrees so that I can get the back part. Now for the camera, same, I will first add a circle. So first shift right click to move the cursor to the specified position, and then shift A to pop up the add menu and add a circle. Just scale it down and then tap for edit mode, switch to vertex mode. Just grab it and move it along x-axis like this to give it a shape like that of camera. Grab it, move it on x-axis. That's look fine. And now this side, same, grab it, move it along y-axis like this. So just give it a proper shape so that it looks fine. I think that's fine. Now just select all, select everything and press E to extrude and right click. This will create more vertices over there, and then you can press S to scale it down. So you are just scaling down the vertices that have been formed over there, and press E to extrude. I will extrude it along Z axis. And then I will select this edge and Ctrl B to bevel it properly. So I will select this edge and grab it, just move it downwards, just shade it smooth. Now you can see the outline over here. So for disabling that outline, you have to click over here, and here just uncheck this outline box, so that outline will be disappear. And now I want a face along this. So first I will start adding lens over there. So for lens I will add a sphere over here. So shift A to pop up the add menu and then add a UV sphere. Scale it down. Just grab it, scale it down. I will scale it along Z axis also. Scale it down. And now I will enter the X-ray mode. For X-ray mode we have to click over here, and then you can see through the objects. Select the whole edge and then press E to extrude it, and just press S to scale it, and you are scaling the face. Just disable the X-ray mode, grab it and move it along Z axis, and then again just scale it, E to extrude it and scale it. So whenever I am pressing E, the more vertices are created over here, and then I am just scaling that vertices. So this gives me shapes like this, and then press E to extrude it and then just scale it more in the upward direction. Now I want this faces to be upwards. So for that I will first select the face mode and then just select this face and press E to extrude them upward. Okay, now I think I got lens like shape. What I will do is I will just select this edge and then extrude it downwards so that it gets wholly covered like this. Yeah, and now I got a lens over here. You can add more loops over here and you can adjust the lens. Like first I will duplicate it. This is my one of my lens, and then I will duplicate it. Again grab it, move it along x-axis, just orient it properly. Now as I said before, you can create more loop over here. For that you have to select the loop cut tool and just create the loop over here, one more loop. So with this loop I can select them, select the loop and just grab it, move it along z-axis. This will give some more bumpy shape. Grab it, move it along axis like this. I can decrease the lens size over here also. I will just select this point and then control plus. So what control plus does is it selects more edges around them. So it select more vertices like this till this point and then just scale it down. Okay, so I will shade it smooth and you see something like this has happened. This is because our normals are not proper. So for first we have to correct the normals and then we have to enable the auto smooth option. So for correcting the normal you have to select everything and just press shift control N. So this will correct the normal and we have to also make it auto smooth. In normal section you have to just check this auto smooth box. So like this. Same for this. So first I will shade it smooth. For shading smooth just press right click and then click on the shade smooth. Now that looks fine. Again one more lens, I think so. There are 3 lenses. So lens part has been completed. Now for the mic portion and the flash we have to do the same thing. Just move the cursor to the specific position, shift right click to move the cursor and then shift A to pop up the add menu, and for them I will add a cylinder. You can see the cylinder is too big. Now S for scaling it down. Scale it down like this and I have to scale it down along z-axis also. Just shade smooth and enable the normal auto smooth and then shift duplicate, move it along x-axis like this. Now again select this upper edge and just press E to extrude and then S to scale it down just for the inner edge, and then again E to extrude and move it along z-axis like this till it touches the face, and then F for creating a face over there. So shade smooth and we have to enable normal over here. For that you have to go again over here and auto smooth. I will create one more loop over here for the glass part. So just select it, move it somewhat upwards, and yeah, I got this and I got a lens properly. Well, we are done with the modeling part and in the next video we will be doing the shading part.